Hello, and welcome back to Cooking and Wine for Lovers Experience number 7. Tonight we are making pork Pinot Pancetta with penne pasta and a beautiful Pinot Noir.
Okay, sweetheart, that is another absolutely beautiful dress that I love. What about this one?
So this one I found in our travels at a little boutique shopping Key West, which I love shopping. So don't forget, when you're traveling, check out those little boutiques because you never know what you'll find. But I love it. It's just very comfy.
And she always shops for little sundresses and somehow finds the best ones. But don't forget, guys, we're keeping this PG for our video series. But for the two of you, it's date night. Don't be afraid to get a little more risque when it's just the two of you. So tonight's wine is a Pinot Noir from the Russian River Valley, which is Sonoma Valley, California, and it's from a winemaker called Bowen. We were introduced to this wine by some really good friends of ours, and they actually turned us on to Pinot Noirs before. We really didn't like them before. So big shout out to Keith and Marianne, if you're watching, for turning us on to this wine. It's a fabulous Pinot Noir, and Melissa's going to read us the tasting notes.
Okay, so this wine is dark plum in color with ruby red highlights. On the nose, luscious notes of raspberry swirl, alongside dark plum notes accompanied by hints of rosemary and sage. Rich and well balanced with bright blackberry, Bing cherry, dark chocolate, and a hint of caramel on the palate. It's an excellent pairing with our pork, Pinot Pancetta, and penne.
All right, so now Melissa's going to pour this wine into our decanter. As we've talked about before, you don't really need to decant a Pinot Noir like you do a Cabernet, but we just like doing it, and we found this really cool heart-shaped decanter. And while Melissa's pouring that, I'm going to mention that we've had a few people ask us, well, what if my husband doesn't drink wine? What if my wife doesn't drink wine? What if my significant other doesn't drink wine? So what we say is these nights are all about spending time together, making great food, and finding your love again. So if someone doesn't drink wine, find something you do like and drink that with the meal. But we encourage you to maybe try some of our suggestions because you may find you might like the wine. All right, so Melissa's going to finish pouring that, and then we're going to give it a try.
We poured the wine in our beautiful Cooking and Wine for Lovers wine glasses.
Which are way cool.
Absolutely. And you can find them on our website. And now we want to try the wine.
Cheers, babe.
Cheers.
That's
beautiful.
That's a really good Pinot Noir.
I'm going to enjoy this one.
And it's interesting. So until we found this wine, we'd never really liked Pinot Noir.
No.
But it's opened our minds, and we found a bunch of them we like now. So.
And we try them when we go out as well.
Absolutely. All right, we're getting ready to cook dinner.
Hey, babe, we're ready to cook. Tell us what the ingredients are for this evening's meal.
All right, so we're going to start with 2 Spanish onions that I've diced up into little pieces. We have a tablespoon of brown sugar. We have a habanero pepper. I'm going to use about half of that. And once again with peppers, you know, we like hot, we like spicy. If you don't, you can just omit that part. I have 4 spring onions that I'm going to cut up in little pieces. I have about 1.3 pounds of pork tenderloin that I've also cut up into little pieces. And then over here we have some penne pasta. We have some olive oil, of course the Lowry's garlic salt, garlic powder. We have some red pepper flakes, some dried basil pepper. We have ½ a cup of chicken stock, and I made some homemade, which is really good. And of course we have ½ cup of the Bowen wine we just talked about. And then lastly, we have 8 ounces of pancetta, which is Italian bacon. If you've never had that before, it's a great thing to include in all your cooking. So that's what we're going to have tonight, and we're going to get this meal going shortly. All right, babe, so we're going to start this meal. I'm really excited about this because we have not made this in a long time. This is one of my favorite things. So to start this meal, we're going to put 2 tablespoons or so roughly into a saute pan. We're going to turn the heat to about medium-high. We're going to add our pancetta, which is the Italian bacon, which is really, really yummy, into the pan there. And then we're going to add one other thing, which is minced garlic, which was in the fridge for our ingredient list. But all we need is about a tablespoon of that. I'm going to mix that in there. And then we're going to let all this start warming up. We're going to let the pancetta cook. And then we'll be back for the next step. All right, babe, so it looks like our pancetta is just about done. So what we're going to do is take the pancetta out of the pan, put it on a plate. We're going to save that for later. And now we're going to add the remaining 2 tablespoons of olive oil to our pan. And then what we're going to do is similar to one of the other Italian dishes we made. We're going to add about a tablespoon of dried basil. Let that infuse into the olive oil. And the olive oil is going to get warm pretty quick since the pan's hot. And then we're going to add our pork that I cut up earlier. And we're going to season the pork with our usual Lowry's garlic salt. And you're going to put about a tablespoon in there. And then we're going to use our garlic powder. Once again, about a tablespoon. And once again, to taste. And then lastly, we're going to do some fresh ground pepper in there. And then what we're going to do is we're going to heat up this pork and cook it till it's all the way cooked through. And then we'll go to the next step. And more importantly, make sure the wine is still good. Which it is. So our pork is just about done. You can see nothing's pink anymore. So we're going to take the pork out of our pan. And now we're going to add our onions. We'll put our onions in there, and we're going to saute these until they start to get caramelized. And that's going to take about 10 to 12, maybe 15 minutes. And then we're also going to put in this little tablespoon of brown sugar while they caramelize. And as they get done, then we're back to go to the next step. So it's been about 12 minutes or so. These onions are starting to caramelize really nicely. So now we're going to add a little bit more of this minced garlic, about 2 tablespoons. And then we're going to add our spring onions. And then we're going to add our chicken stock. We're going to bring this to a little bit of a boil, which should happen very quickly. And then we're going to bring back our Bowen wine and add in there for some color and some flavor.
Wow, that looks awesome.
It's going to be yummy. And then we're going to add in back to our pork. We're going to let this all boil up a little bit. Now also, while we were cooking the onions, I did get our penne into a pot of water, and our penne is cooking. We're going to save a little bit of the pasta water with the penne to put into our mix. And then the last thing we're going to do here is bring back our pancetta. We're going to put our pancetta back in too, and mix it all together. Now as this starts to come to a boil, we're mixing all this together. We want it to reduce a little bit, but we're also now going to add our habanero. Once again, if you don't like spicy, you don't have to use that. And since we like spicy, we're also going to add about a half of a teaspoon of some red pepper flakes, just for a little extra flavor. And then what we're going to do now is let this boil and let the mixture reduce by about half. And then once that's done, we're going to take the boiled penne noodles, take a little bit of pasta water, put it in here, and then mix everything together. All right, babe, take a look here. It looks like this mixture has been reduced by about half. And we have our penne pasta noodles that we finished boiling. We took 1 ladle of the pasta water and put it in here about 5 minutes ago. Let that mix in. And now what we're going to do is we're going to put these penne noodles in with this pasta mixture. And we're going to mix it up really good. Get it all combined. Oh my God, it looks so good. I wish
Smells delicious.
I wish that they could have a smell thing on the internet.
Absolutely.
Because the smell is just over the top good. Holy cow. I can't wait to eat this. So we're just going to keep mixing it up. Get all that sauce mixed in with the penne noodles so it's soaked in. And then we're just about done. We're just going to take this pasta, turn off our heat, and we're going to put it into our big pasta bowl here. How good does that look?
Yum.
Holy cow. All right, so now We're gonna get ready and go eat. Honey, I'm excited. I can't wait.
Yay!
Okay. All right, so we are done cooking.
Yay!
My wife is gonna get fancy. We're gonna be like the Food Network now. We're gonna plate it ahead of time. Just gonna put a little bit of each of that in these cool pasta bowls that we found a few years ago. You just can't believe how good that smells.
Yum.
But then the cool part is we found this little machine on Amazon, like you find at the Italian restaurants. Honey, tell me, what did you put in there?
So I have Parmesan Reggiano,
Okay.
Asiago, and hard provolone. And I just cut it up, put it inside, and I'm going to
And
just
then we
put it on
have
there.
grated
I feel like a
fresh
fancy waiter or
Ford
waitress.
cheese onto our pasta. That is so cool.
It's awesome. I love it. I love doing this. And there we have it.
All right, so I'm excited. We're ready to
Yay!
eat.
All right. Thank you so much, sweetheart. It was so much fun cooking together. We shared lots of laughs and fun times.
This is the most fun. I just love doing this with us. Just you and I,
Yep.
nobody else around me. We love having friends, but this thing, just you and I, this whole cooking and wine thing, it just brings us so much closer together.
Absolutely. I'm so excited.
Can't wait
taste
to
it.
eat. All right, but remember, the couple that cooks together stays
Stays together.
together. All right, see you guys next time. Thanks for coming along.
Bye-bye.